So I am on the move again to catch a flight to Denver, Colorado. Hello, baby. So stick your head. Keep going. I did want to bring you guys a little bit of a haul. Wow, great job. Thanks. 1, 2, 3! So I am on the move again. I left home at 10 AM this morning and it is now 5 PM. I've just arrived at a hotel that is just outside London Heathrow Terminal 2. And tomorrow morning at about 7 AM, I'm going to be heading back over to the airport to catch a flight to Denver, Colorado to stay with Kelsey, who is better known as KJ Sutton, the author of the Fortuna Swan series, which, as y'all know, is a book series that I absolutely adore. So last year, I think, Kelsey said, like, why don't you come over and visit me next year? And I was like, wow, what a cool idea. As you guys know, 2023 is the year of yes to me. I'm saying yes to everything, which is very outside my typical personality. But I don't know. I don't know what's come over me. I think it was just the anxiety of last year, and I was like, you know what, I want to do things, especially now it's not pandemic Lovato times anymore. So we arranged the trip. We worked out the best time, best prices for flights, which actually I'm not sure how this was the best prices for flights, because after I booked it, I found out that this coincided with the Denver dates for Taylor Swift's tour. So I'm also going to be seeing Taylor Swift this weekend. I was considering starting the vlog yesterday, but yesterday turned out to be super, super busy. I had a nail appointment in the morning. So we have Taylor Swift nails. I have one nail for every one of her albums, and it was also the first pre-sale date for the Taylor Swift UK tour, which I did manage to get tickets for, so I'm going to be going to one of the London shows. And then obviously I was just like packing, getting myself ready to come here today, having only just come back from London at the weekend when I went to Rare with Ashley. So yeah, we're starting today. When I have a little bit of free time now. I've just checked into the hotel and I actually haven't had a good night's sleep since I think Thursday night. So my plan is to have a bath, because my hotel room has a bath, which I'm real happy about, and just get in bed, watch some YouTube videos and read. So the book that I'm currently reading, I have brought two with me. Both of them I have started. This one I did just start this morning, and it's definitely my priority because I have a live show for it on the 23rd, which is just 5 days after I come back from Denver. And that is The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. This is the catch-up book club book for, what month are we in now? July. So it was the book for May and June, but I knew I'm the reason why the live show is falling a little bit late in the month, because over the last 2 weekends, like I'm not around. I can't do a live show. So I specifically left it till July so that my thoughts would be a little bit more fresh. And while I don't typically, like, obviously book club books are not ideal to read when traveling, especially when it's like not necessarily dense, but like a very political, gritty fantasy. That's not your typical holiday read, but needs must. Okay, I need to get this book read. So this one is the third book in the First Law series, which is a adult grimdark series. It is the first trilogy in a bigger universe that's called the First Law world, or like the First Law universe, and it is a series that relies a lot more on the characters and the themes than it does an actual linear plot. So we're following 3 main characters in here, though we do have important side characters as well. And the 3 mains we have are a northern barbarian, we have a inquisitor or like torturer for the government, and we have a fencing champion and nobleman. And these 3 characters kind of end up thrown into each other's lives, even though they typically wouldn't interact. And they, in some regards, they are all on very different paths. And when I went into this book, I thought it was going to be like a band of unlikely heroes coming together. It absolutely isn't that. While they are together at various points throughout the series, it's more about things coming together as a whole. It has a lot of war in it, because the setup of this is that the country, I guess, that we're mainly focusing on in here is the Union. And the Union are currently about to go to war with the North, because the North are starting to invade the Union's land. lands. And as well as that, there is tension in the south that, if it's not quelled, could potentially bubble into something else. We also have big themes of magic in here, which is interesting because this is one of those series where the magic is not known to the common people anymore. It's the stuff of myth and legend, and the average person doesn't think that magic actually exists. However, it very much does, and one of our side characters is the first of the Magi, who is going on a quest to find something as the magic is dying in the world, and it seems like he is focusing on things that happened hundreds or thousands of years ago to do with the magic of the world and the immortals of the world, and for some reason he's taking some of our main characters along for the ride. We have big themes of grey morality in this series. All of the characters in here are flawed. I do have my favourites, but absolutely none of the characters in here are good people. They are very deeply flawed, and while some of them I would say are reluctant heroes, none of them are the like stand-up guy that's gonna save the day. But I really like that, especially when it comes to a live show discussion, because I feel like it gives you like so much more to talk about. And I do feel like this is one of those series where, while the plot is not clear right now, I feel like at some point everything is going to click into place, and in hindsight everything's kind of gonna make sense. But we're not following a linear plot where, like, I don't know, in the first book you're a bit confused and then you really know what's happening at the first book and then you start to tackle that in the second. This is very much lots of different tangents that are all, I feel, going to slot together and build up to something. This is going to form the basis of this last book. Now, I have heard that that doesn't necessarily happen in this third book, and that it is very clear that there are more books available in this world than just this trilogy. So I'm already 100 pages, 98 pages into this. I've had today 3.5 hours on regular trains plus an hour on a tube and a 10-minute bus, but the last tube was like so rammed that I was just like squished in the corner and got no reading done. So I managed to read 100 pages on my first 3 trains, and I'm hoping slash thinking that I am gonna get to at least page 200 tonight. Because I'm traveling solo, which I am a little bit nervous about, I do also have like 3-4 hours in the airport tomorrow by myself and a 10-hour flight. I don't foresee me doing much reading when I'm actually in Denver, although I know that Kelsey said that she has a pool day planned for us, so it's very possible. But yeah, we're just going to see how much I can get read, and if nothing else, I will have considerably less of this to read when I get home than I currently do at this moment. I do have a second book with me, which I will talk about if I get to it, and my Kindle is also loaded with like 13 Kindle Unlimited books, so I am for sure not short on reading material. In terms of traveling solo, I did say that I was going to talk about that a little bit, because with the group trips that are coming up, I have one to Italy coming up this September and one that I'm co-hosting with Ashley that's happening in February. Links in the description to both of those if you are thinking of joining us at all. But a lot of people on Instagram were saying that they were worried about traveling solo, and I was like, I get you, because I'm doing it. So I did say that throughout this process I would document it a little bit. So far so good. Traveling to London by train is something that I do by myself at least a couple of times a year, so that was no issue. But I was feeling a lot of anxiety, one, knowing that I was going to be away from home for a week, because I am very much a homebody and my family are my comfort people. The bus and the airport situation were freaking me out a little bit. Now, I've planned everything ahead. I knew my route ahead. I've got my ESTA sorted, my travel insurance is sorted, I've sorted out my phone so that it'll just like work immediately when I get there, and everything essentially is ready to go. So all I need is my passport. I turn up at the airport tomorrow, I check my bag, and I'm done. One of the things that was stressing me out most was the bus, because I just don't get the bus anymore. I have a car at home, and if I go anywhere, like, I tend to go by train, but that was a breeze, and I'm getting the same bus back to the airport, so that hopefully shouldn't be a worry tomorrow morning either, because now I've done it, like, I'm pretty confident going back. I don't do very well, especially because I have been a little bit nervous. I've been a little bit anxious the last few days. I've been falling into bad habits, which when I do that, I do get into my head a little bit about what if I can't stop falling into these bad habits. So having so much free time in the hotel right now is slightly concerning to me in that regard, just because when I'm on my own, left to my own devices, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a cozy reading evening, I tend to procrastinate a lot, and then I can get in my head. So we're gonna try and avoid that tonight. But aside from that, I'm feeling pretty good now. My next point of stress, I feel, is going to be collecting my bag and finding Kelsey in the airport tomorrow, because I do believe that Denver airport is a very, very big one with like a train to the baggage area and like multiple pickup points. So yeah, so far so good. I've made it through the first leg, which, I mean, I didn't know it was going to take me 7 hours, but it took me 7 hours to get here today. And yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I feel like once I get on the plane, I'm gonna be fine. It's just getting to that point. But also I don't do very well on lack of sleep, and I'm arriving when I land in Denver tomorrow. It's going to be 2 p.m, which for me is going to be 9 p.m. and I normally get in bed at 10:30, so we'll see how all that plays out. Also a little bit worried about the elevation and the potential of altitude sickness because of how high up Denver is, but there's no point me stressing about that. The anticipation of something is always worse than the actual event, as I've discovered from traveling here today with literally 0 problems. So there's no point worrying about things that aren't going to happen. I'm just going to stay hydrated, read my book, and hope for the best. He sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. This sounds like it would make me cry like immediately. So we're not getting to page 200 tonight. We're stopping at page 130 because since 7:30 p.m. I have been really struggling to stay awake. So it's 9:15 now. I just called Curtis, so I cried a little bit more, but I need to stop. But we're gonna call it quits, and I'm gonna get some sleep, and I will see the world bright and early at 6 a.m. to go catch my flight. It is 6:55 and I'm kind of just waiting for it to turn 7 so I can leave the hotel. I mean, I could leave now, but it's just 7 was the time that I said I was leaving. I did wake up feeling a little bit panicky today. I'm a little bit like shaky, but I know that everything's going to be okay. It's just like a general sense of panic that I've woken up with. So I'm hoping that like a coffee and breakfast at the airport is going to sort me out, and that I just need to like hold myself together until then. But yeah, I know. I feel like as soon as I'm on the plane and the plane is taken off, I'm gonna be fine. It's just getting myself there. He's like, what is this? What is this? Hello, baby.
Oh, she likes you. Look at that smile.
Hello, baby. Kelsey got me some snacks.
And the most important part.
Is that the wine?
Oh, yes.
I'm so excited, but mainly because Jane. Oh, sweet baby. Good morning. I did not check in with you guys last night because we pretty much just hung out, and I'd had a 10-hour flight. I was sweaty, I was gross, so it was just real chill. But I've made a new best friend. There's Kelsey. This is my new best friend. We slept together all last night. She kept my toes warm.
I can't believe you weren't talking about me.
Well, I mean, there's a dog right here, so it's unlikely that it would be you. But today we are going to do, what did you say that drive was called?
Mount Evans Scenic Byway.
Mount Evans Scenic Byway. First we're gonna get coffee because I'm desperate at this point. It's 9 a.m. But then we're gonna do Mount Evans Scenic Byway. We're going to the Selfie Museum, and then there is an event tonight which is, it's called a date night podcast, which is where like somebody speed dates, and then at the end like they pick who they're actually going to go on a date with, but like it's all recorded for a podcast as well. So those are my first day plans. And in terms of reading, because I don't think I've updated you guys, I have read more than I expected to of The Last Argument of Kings. I'm almost halfway. Not quite. I'm 268 pages in. Halfway would be like 350. But I am enjoying it. I'm surprised that I got so much read considering I'm traveling, because normally I suck at reading when I'm traveling. And I'm really enjoying at the minute that a lot of my theories are coming into fruition at this point. But we'll see how the rest of it goes, because it's not going, like, it doesn't feel like the last book in a trilogy at this point, and it does feel a little bit disconnected in terms of like the flow of it and like the pacing of it right now. But that could also just because of like the mindset that I was reading it in with me traveling at the same time. But Kelsey has just sent me the EPUB of Endless Terrors, which is Fortuna, she's dancing in the bathroom, which is Fortuna's one book 5. So I might also start that at some point as well. It's very hard knowing that I have it there, but also knowing that I need to read this book club book by next Sunday. So we'll see what happens, but I am hyped for that as well.
You're not gonna tell them what else you got?
I didn't know if I was allowed to. Kelsey also sent me a sample, which I don't know how many chapters is it, like...
It's like 15 chapters.
Oh my god. She sent me 15 chapters of a new project that she started working on, which is called, is it Waysiders, did you say?
Waysider.
Waysider, which is, it's titled Ghost Smut, I think, in the file that she sent me, but which she wants my feedback on to find out if it's any good, which is a little bit intimidating. So I do also want to read that at some point. I might read that first because it's shorter, obviously. Still 15 chapters, but shorter than Endless Terrors. And yeah, fingers crossed. It's good, because she said she might scrap it if I don't like it, and I feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on me. I look at you doing it a lot more gracefully now.
Look at my mess.
Keeping it classy.
My heart's the light caught in a tunnel through which your love's a funnel, and I'm waiting in a lobby waiting for God knows, and I'm waiting for somebody who they already went home, and I will not look twice at what's behind our paper throne. It must be so, it will be so. A flower still may grow in shade alone.
Hey, sir.
If I'm gonna go, oh no, I'll
Keep going.
away.
Keep walking.
Tears trying to speak to me by clinging to my face, taking everything. It's enough to find the beauty.
So Kelsey is working on copy edits for Endless Terrors today, and she has a deadline. So I was just gonna have a chill day. I was really looking forward to it and just like read some more of Last Argument of Kings, but I'm feeling a little bit anxious, so I'm gonna take a stroll into the sea to see what I can find. I don't really have anything in mind right now. I'm just like, you guys know, I don't do the best with chill days a lot of the time. It's a little bit different when I'm on holiday. I can normally relax a little bit more. But we had a couple of drinks last night and I had a really, really good time. I don't get drunk very often because I'm too in my head to like get properly drunk, and then I just don't drink very much, and it's because I'm not feeling it anyway. But last night I wasn't intending on getting drunk. I was just gonna have a drink, but I started to feel tipsy, so I went with it and I had a really good time. But this is why I don't drink anymore, because I get anxiety. So yeah, I'm gonna walk around, see if I can find anything cool and take you guys with me. Wish me luck. I'm looking for like little, you know, like cool indie kind of places. I have found somewhere that's called the Wizard's Chest, which I don't know what it is, but it looks really cool on Google Maps. But it's an hour walk away, because like Denver doesn't, like everything looks close, but I feel like everything's like a 40-minute walk. So an hour isn't actually that much if I'm like strolling around, so we'll see how close I actually get to it. But if I do manage to get that far, then that looks like a cool place for me to check out.
Honey, I like moving out of state, I went out of my mind. Took a few nights, blew all my money without even trying.
I am about to take my makeup off, get a shower and get in bed. But I did want to bring you guys a little bit of a haul of what I got today. Now I know I didn't vlog a ton when I was out, like it's not a ton of b-roll, but I went to Hot Topic, I spent a lot of money, and then my hands were kind of too full to be able to vlog. So like in the UK we don't have Hot Topic, and something that I really love about the US in general is that like there are really, really good sales, and Hot Topic in particular have really cool t-shirts. So I did get a bunch of stuff for Curtis mainly, but I thought I would show you what I got. There is one thing that is a gift for somebody, so I can't show you what that is, but I got I think 8 t-shirts in total, mainly for Curtis, and I got 2 for me. So the 2 that I got for me, I got this super cute My Neighbor Totoro one. These are going to be like super casual shirts for me, I feel, and I did buy them in quite large sizes. Like this one is a double XL, but I want it to be kind of baggy. And also in my past experience, Hot Topic isn't like the largest size in, but this one is really cute. This one was one where like I just liked the design, and also I needed to make up like to an even number to get the deal, which was at this point on all t-shirts buy one get one 30% off. And I also got 2 t-shirts for Curtis from the clearance rack that were discounted already, and it was like buy one get one for $1. So I got him, this is one of the ones that was discounted, I think, which is a Sonic t-shirt. There's a lot of Sonic t-shirts in here. This one is one of the full price ones. I am moving through these quite quickly because they are just like t-shirts. This is the second clearance one that I got for him. I don't like spending a lot of money on myself, but I do really like gifting. So if I go somewhere, like I like to bring back things for the people that I care about, especially Curtis, because you know, he's a little sweetheart. So I also got him an Adventure Time one. I was gonna surprise him, that is what I tend to do, but there was just so much choice that I had to call him and be like, yo, which ones of these do you want, because there are so many. And I got him an Amazing Spider-Man one as well. So that was my Hot Topic haul. But everything in Denver, like, it's a weird city in that it's like a lot of cities stuck together almost, and everything's kind of close but not in walking distance. So you'll look at something that seems really close on the map and it's actually like a 20-minute walk. So Kelsey lives like super, I wouldn't say like central, but she lives very close to the city, but it still takes a while to walk there. And then the only other things that I picked up today, and honestly I just cannot buy anything else now, because I also picked up a couple of things from Sephora. So I got I'm completely out of moisturizer, and I knew that I was obviously coming to Denver, so I was like, I'll go to Sephora because it is a little bit cheaper, because in the UK, while we can buy these products, they are like US imports. So this is like £7 cheaper to buy here than it is at home. So I picked up the Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Mask by Youth to the People, which is my, like, I've been using this for over a year now and I really like it. I actually tried a Tula skincare moisturizer that I picked up in New York. If you guys watch my New York vlog, I think I hauled it there. I don't like it very much. Like, I like I guess a dewier moisturizer, and that one's very like matte. Like, it doesn't make my skin feel very smooth, and I wasn't having very good results with it, so I wanted to change back to like what I was using before. But I also picked up Sol Janeiro Brazilian Bum Bum Cream because it smells so good. And I know this is like a hot brand at the minute. I don't know whether it's because it's cool and it smells nice or whether it's because it's actually good, but I have noticed the moisturizer that I currently use, like the body one, is the Charity Pot from Lush, which is a bit heavy if you put it, like if you apply it everywhere, and I don't like the feeling of moisturizer sitting on my skin. So I do like my go-to general lotion. I actually picked some up at the airport to bring with me, but it's the Palmer's Cocoa Butter. But I wanted to try this, so we'll give it a go. It does smell beautiful, and actually on the airport on the way here I did sample, like the sample pot, and it made my skin feel really soft for a long time. So I definitely wanted to give that a try on like a more long-term basis. I did only get the small one though, because, you know, just in case I don't end up loving it. So yeah, that's everything I picked up today. Kelsey has very, very kindly gifted me though what box is this? The Bookish box, I think, but it's the Bookish box editions of the Fortuna Swan series. I have kept them in their packaging right now because I don't want to damage them in transit, but these are so pretty. And obviously, like, the Bookish box don't ship to the UK, so if you do want to buy from the Bookish box in the UK, you have to use like a third-party shipping company to get them to you, which is just too much effort for anything, in my opinion. So thank you very much to Kelsey for gifting these to me. But yeah, my plan for the evening, because I'm having a little bit of an early one, because tomorrow we're doing drag brunch at Hamburger Mary's, and we have like a little bit of a break in the afternoon, and then it's Taylor Swift at night. So I wanted to get an early night, because like the last thing I wanted to be tomorrow is like hungover or tired or in any way not like I feel physically prepared to enjoy Taylor Swift. So I'm having an early one. I'm gonna get a shower. I'm gonna get in bed and unwind a little bit. But what I do want to do, and there's no point doing it now, but I feel like I need to put everything in my case and see how much it weighs, because I already feel like I'm pushing it, and I don't plan on buying anything else apart from Ryan asked for some sugar cookies from Target, so I will pick those up before I go home. But I don't think I'm going to be doing any more shopping, because I only had, I think, 7 kilos left in my weight allowance in my case coming here, and I bought quite a lot of stuff. Today was pretty much just like a walk around Denver, and then we went to a bar for a couple of drinks. drinks and I got some food. But yeah, tomorrow we have a couple of things going on. They're so sweet. These are my best. Jodie's my best friend now. I love her. She slept with me last night under the covers actually. I pulled the blanket over her and I really thought that she wasn't going to like it, and she actually snuggled down more and put her head on my belly, so that was real sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna cuddle with these guys and either watch some The Ultimatum, which I currently have downloaded on my iPad for like the journey, or do a little bit of reading. But first I need to shower because it's hot. It was hot in Denver today when I was walking around and I definitely need it, and just get all of the makeup and grime of the day off me.
I'm gonna write something mushy, which I know you don't love,
Oh god.
but it just needs to happen.
Okay.
I'm not sorry.
Augie looks startled, but that's just his face.
Okay, I'm gonna make this brief.
Oh gosh. Wow. I love how I'm gonna make this brief. That is all. Wow. Great job. Thanks.
You said to follow dreams, didn't want to leave as much as you wanted. I'll go.
Overall, your most valuable asset is your noise, your energy, your voices, your hoots, your hollers, your stomps, your screams, your shouts. The more fun that you have, the more fun that we have. The more energy you throw our way, we're gonna throw that shit right back to you. On the count of 3, how loud can you get? 1, 2, 3.
We're ready for Taylor Swift.
So I can ease my fear, knowing you'll never care.
My name is Taylor. We could leave the Christmas lights until January. This is our place. We make the rules. And there's a dazzling and mysterious way about you, dear. Haven't known you 20 seconds, it's 20 years. And I don't know where you go. You will always be this close, forever and ever. To be out, to be home. You're more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. Begging for you to take my hand, back my plans, that's my plan. You know that my dream can take you home, anywhere else is hollow. Begging for you to take my hand, back my plans, that's my plan. Hey, honey, I don't wanna share, 'cause I like you the best. My reputation telling my soul, just like me for me. Yeah, I can't make any promises now, can we, girl? But you can make me a change. Is it cool when I said, oh, is it chill that you're in my head? 'Cause I know that it's down there, yeah. And I can see you twisted in bed sheets, all get slipped away like a bottle of wine. 'Cause you were never mine. Back when we were still changing for the better, wanting was enough.
crazy. I've got a really bad tan line.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Good afternoon, guys, because we woke up late today after Taylor Swift. We walked back. It was a 40-minute walk back, but we had a great time.
Yes, we did.
She was great. I loved it. I'm so excited I get to go again in the UK as well, because like I feel like it was a lot for me to absorb, and I feel like I now feel like I can't remember it properly and I need to experience it again. But then by the time I actually do experience it again, I'll have forgotten. So it'll be like it's for the first time all over again.
The fits though, the fits.
The fits, oh my god, everybody was stunning. And all of the people that had like Swiftie Dad shirts on were so cute. And at one point, this group of like 3 guys like in their 40s with Swiftie Dad shirts on got up and took a selfie. And I was like, I love this.
The Swift Daddies?
Yeah, they were so cute. I think my favorite section of the concert was either 1989 or Reputation.
1989.
But Folklore was also banging. And yeah, it was amazing. And like the crowd was so loud, because in the UK, like our stadiums don't hold that many people, I don't think, because it was like 73,000.
73, yeah.
It was a lot. But yeah, great times were had all around. I'm actually going to order myself some merch because I didn't pick any up, because I know you can buy it online. If you buy it in the UK store, it has the UK dates on it as well. So I'm going to order myself a hoodie and get that shipped to home. And today, which is why I'm updating, because my arm's getting sore now, so I need to get to the point. We're going to the Garden of the Gods, which I've heard is real pretty.
Yes. You can't come to Colorado and not see Garden of the Gods.
Apparently. I have heard this multiple times from multiple people, including people on Instagram. So I am a little bit concerned, because it's like 34 degrees today, which is about 100, I think, in Fahrenheit.
She's toasty.
Yeah, she's warm. So we'll see how long we last out there, but I'm excited to see some pretty stuff, because when we went to Mount Evans the other day, that was stunning. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys. I'm flying home tomorrow, so maybe I'll check in with you at some point. Jane is keeping
My dog is gonna be heartbroken.
Jane is gonna be so sad. Like, we've been spooning. It's been
Seriously, I feel like she's kind of betraying me or cheating on me a bit. Like sleeping with Becca every night since she got here.
I am a superior dog mother. But yeah, maybe I'll check in with you guys before I get home, but if not, I'm sure I will take some beer roll for you to enjoy.
Pull me in, draw me close. I wanna hear your heartbeat. I wanna feel your breath on my cheek. Pull me in, draw me closer. I wanna hear your heartbeat. I wanna feel your breath on my cheek. For I know that only you can satisfy me. Oh, I know I'm thirsty for your love, and I know you've got sleeping
So I made it home safely. I will say though, of the 18-hour, it was supposed to be an 18-hour journey back that turned into 20 hours, because the last 30 minutes of my way home was cancelled, and it's really annoying as well. They always do this. There had been an issue with power that had been affecting trains earlier in the day and was affecting all of the ones that came afterwards as well, but they didn't tell us that they were going to be terminating the train. And if they had, I could have called Curtis ahead of time and been like, hey, my train gets in at this time, can you pick me up? Instead, I just had to call him at the train station. It added like 2 hours onto my journey, which I mean is inconvenient generally, but after traveling for 18 hours, and I had a nap on the plane and I had a nap on my first train between London and Doncaster, but your girl was tired. So yesterday I slept for 10 hours, I think. Was it 10? More like 12 actually. And then did pretty much nothing for the remainder of the day. Like, I didn't even get a lot of reading done yesterday. I was very much just vibing and recuperating. Breezy in a glasses cloth. I will be back in 1 second. Put it down. And this is why I'm always cleaning my glasses on the edge of a t-shirt, because all of the actual cleaning cloths get eaten. I had a very successful, I would say, trip to Denver. Traveling by yourself, I don't feel like is intimidating as it feels like ahead of time. I had no issues in the actual traveling portion, like traveling by myself, the flying or the trains or anything. I didn't think the trains were going to be a problem, to be fair, but the flying was actually super smooth, and obviously it helped that Kelsey picked me up at the airport, and I didn't have to figure out transport after that. I think I could have done it though. So I would definitely say if you are nervous about solo traveling, maybe give it a go. I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking your first trip ever, like if you've never been on a plane. Wouldn't necessarily recommend flying solo, because I feel like I only had the confidence to do this because I have flown before, and also because I've very recently, like 2 months ago, done a long haul flight. So I'd like, knowing that I was going to make this trip then, I paid attention to everything that I would need. I also very much planned in advance. So even though I still had my phone open looking at like the route from King's Cross to Heathrow, I already had like a vague idea of where I was going, how long things were going to take and all that kind of stuff. It was also really great meeting Kelsey. Thank you so much to Kelsey for having me, and also for gifting me the special edition set of Fortune of Swan. Also the manuscript for Endless Terrors and the first 15 chapters of the new series, which I am hoping to get to very, very soon. I'm super pumped. I'm a little bit nervous about the 5th Fortuna book though, can't lie, because there's only one more after. Denver as a place, I would say, I feel is a nicer city to live in than it is to visit, because in terms of the city itself, like everything is quite spread out. I feel like the majority of things to do in Denver are actually related to the mountains, not the city itself. But I feel like the quality of life is super cool there, like it's super chill, and I see why people would like to live there. In terms of visiting though, while I obviously had a great time, I don't feel like Denver's a bucket list city, but it's cool. If you want to go, you should go. But in terms of like activities, like densely packed in a city, I don't feel like Denver is that. The weather though is beautiful, a little bit too beautiful. It was like 38 degrees, which I think is like 110 or something on the day that I left. So I'm very glad that I left on Monday before that got like too ridiculous, because Sunday at like 105/34 degrees was bad enough. But yeah, I will once again mention, if you guys have enjoyed this travel vlog, if you want to travel with me in the future, I do have a trip to Thailand that I'm co-hosting with Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction that is going to be happening at the beginning of 2024 in February. The information is in my description box. Life is too short to say no to things because you're scared, guys, and I know there's like so many other reasons why people wouldn't want to go to Thailand. I'm not thinking it's just because you're all scared. But I know quite a few people reached out to me when I did an Instagram Q&A and all of that kind of stuff, and was like, I'm a little bit nervous about traveling alone, especially like long haul. The reason why I went to Denver when I previously wouldn't have done is that I just really realized after the pandemic, after my mental health was really bad, that I just kind of needed to say yes to stuff. And so that's what I've been doing, and I'm living my best life in 2023. So if it is fear that is holding you back, I would say make the leap, because it's worth it. Like getting out there and seeing the world is worth it. In terms of reading, actually, before we shut this off, I haven't made a spoiler vlog for this, which I have for the previous 2 books in the series, purely because I was reading this when I was traveling. So it just wasn't gonna happen. But I'm 504 pages into this now. I was, I think, 470 pages in as of like the actual end of my trip, and I'm really proud of myself for managing to read that, because I didn't read anything when I was actually in Denver. That was just traveling, and normally I don't read so much when I'm traveling. It is as I thought, because I was traveling alone. I was just whipping my book out whenever I had a spare moment, on the trains, in the airport, on the flight, and because of that I got through the majority of this, which is great, because now I only have 170 pages left and the live show is on Sunday. In terms of my enjoyment, it's not my favorite in the series. I'm really hoping for something really to come together with a bang at the end of this book, because right now everything feels a little bit disjointed, which I think I have mentioned, and events are happening. It's kind of like, oh, there may potentially be a battle, and then like 2 chapters later you've spent 2 chapters in somebody else's perspective, and then like suddenly the city's destroyed. And I feel like we're missing a lot of those connecting bits, and I do understand that we have like multiple perspectives in here. There's also like one character perspective along with like a group has traveled a vast distance, and I think they estimated the time it would take them to travel around a month, and you kind of don't see them between saying that they're setting off and them actually arriving. So it is cutting things like that out, but I feel like when it's coming to the cataclysmic events, when it's coming to wars and battles and big dramatic events within the world, I feel like I'm missing some steps in between that. And also because of that accelerated pace, I feel like this book is not going where I expected it to. The big theory that I had throughout the last 2 books that actually came to fruition at the beginning of this book, I thought was going going to be like the end. Like this is this character's end goal. Like this is the last place we're going to see him in this book. So definitely not my favorite in the series. I am holding out hope for the end, and I will have this done before Sunday, so you will definitely be able to find out my full thoughts in next week's vlog, which is just going to be a standard weekly vlog. And just as a little teaser, all I'm doing in that vlog is going to be trying to get through as much of my TBR as possible. But yesterday I did start, this is so heavy, this is a 1,000 page book with Bible pages. But I did start The Shadow Rising, so I'm reading both of my book club books at once right now, as I have to read 55 pages of this a day to make it for the earliest possible date we could have a live show for this book. And I'm 77 pages in, so I'm going to be reading this slowly and steadily until at least the first weekend in August, finishing this off, and then just working through everything else I have currently reading and the rest of my TBR. So do stay tuned if you are at all interested. Aside from that, I do hope you've enjoyed this vlog, if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.